Hey guys, welcome back to GTA Magic.
The Fister Growler is now officially available for purchase from a Legendary Motorsport website. It was added today, August 19th, and it is the 4th drip feed vehicle of this update, so that means that there's only 3 drip feed vehicles left, which is pretty insane. The current prize ride for this week is the Dominator GTT. To get this car for free, you have to place top 5 in 10 LS Car Meet Series races, which honestly isn't too bad. Now, this car is primarily based on the 1969 Ford Mustang, just a very good looking car with great customization as well. It has a normal price of about 1.2 million and a trade price of about 900,000. So basically a free $1 million DLC car is honestly pretty cool, especially something this new. Now, some of you may be a bit annoyed that not players can get this car for free, so remember that you can always take the one you originally purchased and sell it. You can see mine right here sells for about 950,000, but again, this will depend on your upgrades and how much you paid for it originally. Now, in terms of the test drive vehicles for this week, we have the Warner HKR, the Fister Growler repeating from last week, and the brand new Sultan Classic RS, which as we all know is how Rockstar has been confirming the next drip feed vehicle. So next week on the 25th, we should receive the new Sultan Classic RS, which is rumored to be the new fastest car for tuner races. Now, in terms of the casino podium vehicle, we have the Vito Modern. A very different choice for a podium vehicle from Rockstar, but I'll explain why Rockstar chose this later in the video. Now, this vehicle has a normal price of about $1 million, so it's definitely not cheap. So, is the Vito Modern worth attempting to win by spinning the lucky wheel over and over this week? Well, considering what this thing normally costs, I'd say yes. Paying $1 million for a go-kart is a bit ridiculous in my opinion. So, starting off the property discounts, we have 30% off the Kasaka. Now, this submarine is needed to host the Galapagos heist, and that is currently the best money-making method in the game by far, so I highly recommend getting it if you don't have one already. In terms of the upgrades for the Kasaka, if you're on a budget, I only recommend getting the Sparrow helicopter upgrade as it's extremely useful for the setup missions. Moving on to the vehicle discounts, we have 30% off the Fudo GTX, which was the prize ride for last week, so I guess if you weren't able to complete that prize ride challenge last week, now you can buy it at a discounted price. Next up, we have 40% off the BF Weevil. So this car is in the compacts class and has great customization as well. If you've always wanted a VW Beetle, now you can get one at a more reasonable price if you don't have one already. Next up, we have 30% off the Vito Classic. Now I'm sure most of you remember this vehicle. It was given to players for free as a reward when the Galapagos DLC came out. So I'm sure most of you already have it, but if you don't, I honestly wouldn't worry about it too much. The modern version that's currently on the casino podium is a lot faster anyways. Moving on to the Warstock website, we have 30% off the Toreador, which is one of the best weaponized vehicles in the game. If you don't own one, I highly recommend it. It's a ton of fun to mess around with and very useful as well, with its missiles, armor, submarine capability, and boost. It's just an all-around really great vehicle. Moving along, we have 40% off the Night Shark, basically a faster insurgent, and the great thing about the Night Shark is that it has no special map icon, so players will think you're driving in a regular vehicle, which is kind of funny. And lastly, we have 30% off the Sea Sparrow. Now this is not to be confused with the regular Sparrow in the Kasaka. This is a separate helicopter that you have to store in your hangar, so I personally don't find this vehicle very useful, but I know that some people in the community do. In terms of double money, we have double money NRP on store holdups, which is quite random. I can't remember the last time I robbed one of the stores, but I guess if you're a brand new player with no businesses at all, I guess this is sort of a good start of making some quick money, but other than that, it's not really that great at all. Next up, we have double money NRP on a brand new deathmatch mode called Kart Crash, which finally makes the go-karts somewhat more useful. It's basically a deathmatch with power-ups similar to some of the adversary modes, and yes, you can use your own custom go-kart, which is pretty awesome. And lastly, we have double money NRP on exotic exports, and to do these you actually have to own an auto shop property, so if you don't, you can't do them. So these usually only pay out about 20,000, so with double money it would pay out about 40,000, so I guess that's a bit better, but still not great of a money making method either, as you have to first find the vehicle and then drive it all the way down to the docks, which does take some time. However, for this week, according to TesFunds2 on Twitter, delivering all 10 exotic exports from your Blackboard list in the auto shop will net you $600,000, and if you do this for 7 days in a row, you will get $4.2 million, which is honestly pretty crazy. But I do want to mention that finding these cars is very challenging for those of you who've never done them before, and for those of you who have, you know what I'm talking about. It's not easy, especially the NPC cars, and if you can't find an NPC car, you have to wait for the blue circle to pop up on your minimap and hope it's an export car, not something else. Also, for those of you having a tough time finding the NPC cars, I recommend going in a public session to find them, as this will help with the vehicle spawns a bit. Still challenging and difficult, but the public session does help because other people's vehicle spawns does make your spawn sometimes better. For some reason, I don't know why Rockstar programmed it to where an NPC car that's on your export list will dramatically have a much lower chance of being found and spawned, so the public sessions definitely help with that. Moving on to the Prime Gaming discounts for Prime Gaming members only. I'll leave instructions in the pinned comment on how to become a Prime Gaming member if you aren't one already. So we have the same discounts as the past 4 weeks, which is a bit surprising and unusual. Usually Rockstar doesn't do this, they usually change these discounts for Prime every 2 weeks, but anyways, the discounts are 80% off the Cokehead Blackfin, and 50% off the BR8, which is the fastest open wheel car in the game. Also to note, the free auto shop property discount is now gone, as last week was the final week for that discount. Also, don't forget guys, just for logging in this week as a Prime Gaming member, you'll get a free $100,000, which is pretty cool. Again guys, if you don't see a discount on the vehicles I mentioned, it's because you don't have your Prime Gaming account linked to your social club. Again, all the information on how to do that is down below in the pinned comment. And lastly, we have of course the RC Bandito Time Trial Construction Site 2. This week's normal time trial is Maze Bank Arena. I highly recommend either the Pariah, Itala GTO, Devest 8, Emerus, Krieger, Hakachu Drag, Shotaro, or a Batty 801 for that time trial. And this week's premium race is the Sports Classics race, Crossing Paths. I highly recommend either the Retinue Mark II, Turismo Classic, Cheetah Classic, or the Rapid GT Classic for that race. Every Friday I post a guide on how to easily beat the time trials and premium race, so stay tuned for that if you're new.
This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it, hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.